just got back from London. In 2 days I was there. It's quite an experience and a full plethora of events going on, and it's exhausting. Walk 10 miles a day in total, just wandering. I had some locations I wanted to find, but overall just looking for opportunities of light and situations that I came across. But my main concern was that, is street photography art even possible anymore? It's really difficult with modern technology and the way the modern world is to do the classic street photography that we become accustomed to in the past. Mainly because people are on their phone, their heads down. I would say 80%, 90% of people are doing that. And the others are more conscious, camera conscious. So I went out with my D700, which is a fantastic camera, 2008, has a great look to it, got retro lenses, but it's big and it's quite loud. Yeah. But so people can see me coming with this. But I love the look of it and the feel of the photos. I don't have to do much editing or anything like that. It's really good. And people are more conscious of being filmed and photographed with the era of social media and the pranksters and the TikTokers and all that kind of thing. So let's start the journey. I started from Coventry to Euston. Went on the fast train, it takes about an hour. And as soon as you get to London, it's hustle and bustle, isn't it? You get that kind of London, frantic hustle and bustle of London. You get into it straight away. Lots of people, fast pace, you've got to know where to go. And after the photography show I went to, it started by the O2 Arena along the dockyards. Really interesting on there. I haven't actually seen that side before. I would say tourist photos. So I don't mind taking tourist photos because, you know, the classics of the landmarks and things like that, because it's nice to have your own copy of them. But I guess the trick is to try and, like when I went to St Paul's as well. So I've took St Paul's a few times. But the trick is to try and get something everyone's used to seeing, tourist photos, with something original, something artistic and classic. So with this camera I shot at low shutter speed to try and get, and it was rush hour for food at midday, so everyone was just crossing the paths. I thought, oh, this is a great time to practice some slow shutter photography. I just kept the camera as still as I could, so St Paul's would be in focus, but everyone would be blurred in the foreground. I think it worked to a certain extent. And of course, to get to A to B, the underground is photogenic. Some of the old stations themselves are really photogenic and old looking and retro, really cool. So if you can get people, the characters in there without people looking on their phone, you're probably going to be in there with some good photos. And again, I'm always trying to pick out individuals, trying to get space, that individualism, the negative space around them. And really nice colours, and it's sharp, and she's just perfectly still as well. Really happy with that photo. Maybe it's a bit overdone now, like the loner amongst a crowd of people, that kind of thing. And maybe it is a cliche, but for me, I still like it. I'm still getting my head and my feel around it, creative-wise. Of course, people sitting on the underground as well, and in the trains is, well, it's all very tight, so you can't really take photos there without being noticed. Maybe invading someone's space as well. But there is a few opportunities here and there where you can find like someone smiling and just, again, probably on their phones, because that's what I would do. If I was on the underground bored, I'd go on my phone too. So that's something, I'm not being hypocritical there. It's also my first time to Borough Market, which is really the best market I've been to. There's all these artisans and unique, eccentric characters behind these well decorated stands. Really nice. But you have a lot of characters there as well, doing a lot of hustle and bustle and making things, creating things, serving things. Really a lot of character there. You can easily just walk around, keep on walking around and get some characters. And really nice, unique photos that I don't think you can get anywhere else, really. And while we're still on the shops, there's a shopping lane, I can't remember what it's called. It has loads of little outlets, really expensive outlets. But inside, again, you have characters in there, all kind of eccentric to make their trademark, their brand. There's lots of people shopping as well, and hat shop, looks really expensive. This girl's just looking around. I think she did glance to see me with my camera pointing that way, but she didn't seem to mind. She had a smile on her face. And there's other ones as well, like there was a watch shop, and someone was just the watch worker was just kind of looking there completely in concentration, and I managed to get the watches surrounding them like a frame. I'm really happy with that as well.
Your attention, please. Due to a reported emergency, would all passengers leave the station immediately? Your attention, please.
And there's a bit of drama at King's Cross where they had to close the whole station, or maybe the whole line of that station, to St Pancras, I think it was. So there's alarms going off. But yeah, outside there was a guy there, like, at the end of the day, he was just sitting, there's a sign behind him saying emergency don't enter. He was there like, I just managed to capture that. I was a bit far away, but I managed to get it a bit, and I was really happy with that. So you have to work with the reactions of what's going on in the scene. You know, the hustle and bustle and the disappointment and the stress, the anguish and the happiness that a city, everything that the concrete jungle of London is, the urban jungle. And that's where you can try and meet art and reality, and everyday reality. And at night time, again, the city changes. Of course, you have all the downward lights, many multicolored lights of cars and street lights and everything else. It was really good to be there at night time, and especially just after sunset, we have that twilight light, full rush hour bus, crammed full of people. I wouldn't want to be on it, but it was just full of people just crammed in, like the commercial, you know, you can see people just squashed up against the windows, and it kind of represents the drama and life of rush hour in London. And the Airbnb I stayed at was spectacular because it was the top, like 10th floor up, I think it was. And you had like a 180 view of the city from Hoxton. It's on Airbnb, and it was amazing. At night time, I got there really late, of course, because I had to walk for miles because the stations had closed. But it's amazing to see. I've got some really great cityscape photos at night time. I slowed down my shutter speed, and because held it steady on the balcony. I also did a stitched panorama of several photos all in one. Really happy with that. And it's quite a unique photo that I don't think I could get from many places in London. And then again, I was trying to get there was a road I could see just in the foreground. I was trying to get like a bus or a bike or something heading into the city. I did manage to get that, and a bit of patience was pretty good. It was really nice going to sleep because my window had a blind where you could see the city as well as you go to sleep, and it was really nice. And the daylight woke me up at 6 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, when the daybreak started, the light did come through, and I did wake up. At daybreak, I thought this is the best time to get a sunrise photo, because all I have to do is walk out my bedroom, go on the balcony, and it's the easiest time. So we did do that. And it started off with a blaze, a ball in the sky on the horizon. The sky was lighting orange on the buildings around as well. But then the cloud came over, of course, and destroyed all the good light. It's a shame, but it's still got some good photos there. And then in the daytime, the cityscapes as well look completely different. Again, I got stitched panoramic and some landscape portrait ones. Really interesting to see the patterns, the shapes and architecture on the horizon. And that's the other thing I've never done before, is to wait in one spot and wait for the right person or the character or the light. And I did do that a few times. So I went to Marylebone as I was walking around, and there's this really ivory white building and loads of light coming through, which was quite rare because it was quite a cloudy day. And I took several people going by, and one of them was in a nice stride and just went with the colours of the building. I'm really happy that I did that, because usually I'm too impatient. It's always worth stopping in the Barbican if you're around there. It's brutalist architecture, and it's really unique. It's like harsh concrete shapes, but we're surrounded by also green parts as well. It's like this kind of social housing. Where we need to go down there. But it was designer social housing, so they had water features, green architecture that was kind of cool for the time, and I still think it is. It's not really looked after around the world as much as the Barbican, which is a listed area. Get some really interesting photos around there with the shapes of architecture. Just waiting for the right moment again. It was really quiet, but it's worth waiting for those opportunities where you get those people in the right places. And Brick Lane is also on the way to there. And now that's full of character. Graffiti, little shops. Again, get characters all around that area. And again, I was waiting for the right moment because I found the right angle of the street. There was this bird graffiti on the foreground with Brick Lane on the wall in the far corner. I thought if I get to somebody striding through. And there was a guy on the bike wearing like graffiti jacket or coloured jacket. And for more of a tourist, some tourist fun is the Sky Garden. So you can go about 37 floors up and it's free. You'd have to book a place, but you can look over the city and the Shard is just in front of you over the water. A really nice view. There's nothing unique or street art about that photo, but it's just really nice to see. It's a really nice area and there's grab a coffee and a drink there too. So I've always got an eye out for something unusual, not something more obvious that people would see. Like there was this gas chamber or some kind of chamber with coloured pipes around it, and I really like that photo. The colours worked out really well, just seemed to blend in really well with the skies. I went into this thinking, well, is street photography almost impossible now? No, it is possible, but it's really hard because of just the situation we're in with modern life. But it is possible to find something unusual because there are characters there. There is going to be possible channels of light which come and go. And this is the thrill of the chase with it, and that's what's enjoyable. I mean, you might not get something classic or unique every time, but if you just keep on doing it, then I think I'll get there and get a really good collection over the years, not just in one session or 2 days in London. Kind of blend yourself in, get involved in the hustle and bustle and the quiet moments and find something that you want, your voice. Finding your voice with this is really challenging as well, but that comes with time and taking photos and the mood you're in and the light and everything about it. It goes through you and then you produce the photo. You've got that art, you've got that photo you want. I think it's really down to just having a bit of patience and developing that natural, instinctive photography eye to find these spaces of light and composition. So there we go. The links below for my photos where you can see more. Hope you enjoyed the video.